Being on a spiritual path means pushing back people with SAE degrees. This is Tracy with Tracy Talks, a podcast about life, looking at life from a new perspective to gain wisdom and understanding in hopes to know yourself more. Living a life where you allow your intuition to guide you is not always the easiest path in life. And I say that because there are so many people walking around with SAE degrees. And if you've never heard of an SAE, it is self-appointed expert. These are the people that take it upon themselves to tell you what you need to do differently and how you need to live your life so you can achieve your goals. I have been getting advice from people with SAEs, and it's interesting because so often when we offer unsolicited advice, most of the time it isn't received well. Unless someone specifically asks for your opinion or your advice, people rarely openly accept unsolicited feedback. If you feel that you have valuable information or insight to offer, it's always best to ask someone if they are open to your feedback. Because when we just offer it up as somehow we are superior, it's never really received and it's never lands in the way that it could. For myself, I am trying to live my life by my intuition and feeling into my body the decisions that I need to make. I recently received feedback from somebody and they were like, well, you need to do this. Well, actually, I checked with my intuition and I am on the right path. But people don't want to hear that. They don't want to hear you say, what? You're checking in with your intuition when, I know what I'm talking about? It's not always easy to be in this place in society. So many people, for me, at least where I'm at, do not say, well, today I'm going to let my intuition lead me in my decision making. No, we don't do that where I'm at. People don't say that. And when I say that, it makes people uncomfortable. There are times where it requires me to keep my plans close, that I don't just talk about who I am and what I'm doing because people feel like they need to comment. People feel like they need to inject their own life experiences, their own beliefs, their own opinions. One of the biggest things about allowing your intuition to guide your decision making is it will sometimes appear that the steps I take are not logical steps, that the steps I take aren't what I should be doing. People often criticize and judge non-traditional paths. To many people, it may appear that I am not doing anything. To many people, it may appear that I am not working hard enough. When you live your life listening to your intuition, your path is not going to be understood by people. Your path isn't going to look conventional. People don't understand when I talk about checking in with my intuition, that I feel into my body when I make a decision about my next step, when I consider what are my options. I'm not simply going to Google and saying, what are my options for this? That is a resource. That is a resource worth checking. I still have to check into my body and feel what that feels like in my body. It is not the easiest process to explain to people who are so conditioned to simply push forward, push through, just do it anyway. Even if you don't feel like it, you got to get up, you got to do it every day, and you'll learn to love it if you just keep doing it every single day. That doesn't work for everyone. That is not the path for everyone. There is a big difference in being, quote, lazy and being led by intuition. When someone sees that I am not doing the traditional path, they assume I am not doing anything, when in reality, I am. I am checking in with my intuition. I am learning to listen to my body and understand what path is best for me. I am co-creating with my higher self. I'm co-creating with the energies that are around me. That is not a path that everyone will understand. When I am surrounded by self-appointed experts who simply they passively aggressively criticize my choices, which means that they don't come out and just say, what are you doing? You're not doing anything. They come around like through the back door and they try to act like they're helping me, but yet they're criticizing me as well. All that to say is I have to remain confident that I am living a life that is being guided by my intuition. I have to remain confident that I am acting on the decisions that are best for me. Because when I get surrounded by people who don't understand, they start offering up different ways for me to do things. And if I take that in, if I allow that to come into my thought process, my mind, it triggers fear and anxiety, which then makes it more difficult for me to then connect to my intuition. When we are so confronted with fear, it is so hard to listen to those authentic bursts of information that we get. It's harder to get the information when I am surrounded by fear and anxiety and all of the traps that we can get caught in this world. When I got information yesterday, well, somebody thinks you need to be doing this. And it was like secondhand that the person didn't even reach out to me directly. They told somebody else, and then that person told me. Just keep that shit to yourself. I don't know who you think you're helping. If you are that person out there who's just blatantly offering up your self-appointed expert opinions, stop. There's a lot of us that are walking around that have checked in with our intuition, and we are trusting the path, we are trusting the process. I have learned that my path doesn't look like anybody else's. And I have got to stop trying to make it look like anybody else's. I'm not here to follow someone else's process. I'm not here to follow someone else's recipe for success. I am here to blaze a new trail to clear the path. Me pretending to follow someone else's path is leading me away from what I really want. And I think that so many of us are struggling because we just want to follow a path that has been laid out before us. We wanted to be given a 10-step process. I need to do these 10 things, and then I am guaranteed success. And that's not why we're here. That's not why we are on this earth. Thanks, but no thanks. I don't need your advice. I don't need advice from a self-appointed expert. I got this. I am working with my higher self. I am working with my intuition. I am trusting. I am on the right path. Thank you for listening to this podcast of Tracy Talks. Please like and share with others who would enjoy listening to this podcast. And until next time, we meet again.